All right. So, congratulations and very, very big welcome to Brennan Cook. Man, he climbed all kinds of mountains and trudged all kinds of deep, deep current rivers to get his West Virginia broker's license. That is a story all in itself. So he is our newest West Virginia broker. He's now officially with my real estate company. We're so excited to have him. Some other big exciting news, which obviously I'm going to cover down again tomorrow at our company meeting, is we also promoted Brennan to our director of teams. Brennan, before we go into today's training, I want you to tell them like your experience with teams.
Yeah, so thank you again. I'm really excited to bring what knowledge I have to the company. Been in real estate for a long time, led a couple of teams myself, and then I was a senior manager over the teams for EXP for like 6 years over the US. So just a big part of helping them grow, recruit, come up with the systems for teams, just about it, everything you can think of.
You,
So we are excited to bring some of that knowledge plus new ideas. We have some really exciting stuff coming in the very near future for teams. So stay tuned on that. And I'm excited to be a part.
you guys, I think just if I could give you one lesson in leadership, it's to pick out the strengths of the people around you who want to contribute and allow them to contribute and then give them the power to contribute to the maximum of their ability. So I told Brennan that he can take our entire team structure and completely restructure it because he knows all the pain points of teams, large, small. He knows the pain points of them at these large national virtual brokerages. And so I'm like, why don't you create what you feel is the perfect team structure? Because what better time to do it than now when we'll never be this small again. We don't have any huge teams that would disrupt, right? So I'm very excited about that. Very excited about what's to come. And Brennan also, he's a man of many talents and a jack of many trades. So today, we decided that some training that agents need, while we are restructuring teams, we felt like it wasn't appropriate to do a teams training until we have that fully restructured. Then we can train you all on that. Since he knows mortgages inside and out, he's the man with that. We're like, you know what? Agents really could use another rate buy down training, like how to use that to the best of their ability to represent their buyers or to, dangle as a carrot on their listings with their sellers. So thanks for handling this training, Brennan. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I like what's the saying? I like to think I'm a jack of all trades, but master of none. I
Yes.
know a little bit of everything, enough to be dangerous, but I think that's what it is important as well when you go into these type conversations as us as real estate agents to have a little bit of knowledge on, you know, the lending side, um, the legal side, stuff like that. Obviously, we can't talk about too much of things that we don't know, but you need to be able to answer questions because anytime that your clients have a question, who are they coming to? It's going to be you, even if it's a lending question, even if it's a legal question. In my experience, it's they come to me. So, with that being said, should we go ahead and get started?
Absolutely. Take it away.
All right, let me share my screen. Give me just a second to get this going here. All right, can everybody see that?
Yes,
Yeah, but
but
I
move
can't
your
believe
Zoom
you do
window.
this shit on an iPad. Move like my icon. Like I don't want to see my face the whole
No,
time.
I don't. I'm
You
gonna
have
be
to swipe
honest.
me off. There you
I'm
go.
gonna be
Like
honest.
see,
I don't know if I can I?
yes, you can. Just like swipe me off the screen. No, you don't have to press Zoom. Just swipe me off. Oh my God.
There we go. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I can't believe you don't want to see yourself up there. Okay. Too bad. But anyway, so we call this winning deals with the rate buy down strategies. It's really how to control the payment, not just the price, and really how to control the conversation. So let's look at some of these strategies. Uh, Buyers, when you're working with them, it's not all about the price. It's not about getting the lowest price possible. They really are looking at payment. And if you really want to go deep, it's what's most important to you. That's the question you should be asking your buyers. Is it the lowest rate? Is it the lowest payment? Is it flexibility if they're going to make another change in the near future? Or is it a forever home? So it's really what's most important to you, but it doesn't all have to be about price. So really quick, what is a discount point? Basically, this prepaid interest, 1 point is 1%. So anytime you hear somebody say, it's going to cost you, 2 discount points or anything like that, it's always just 1%. And it can be paid out at closing. Really important part of that is you can use seller credit to purchase discount points. So a couple different ways that you can look at these rates. So first off, obviously, a rate change, it does make a big difference in payments. Some more than others. If it's a long-term buy down versus a short-term buy down, we'll look at a couple of those differences, but the payment difference can be huge on this. The break-even point, when does it make sense? So this is part of the conversation where you need to figure out what is most important for them and what their motivation is. Is this going to be a forever home? Is it going to be something they're going to make a change with in the near future? Because at that point, you look at, what does it cost? If it costs you $3,000 to buy down the rate to where you want it or to get you to a monthly payment, but you're going to get rid of this house before the break-even point, does it make sense? Because you'd be paying more upfront than you would pay basically that monthly payment, what you save before that break-even point, if that makes sense. So you really have to look at that, and you really have to look at motivation. And you can come up with these graphics to share with your buyers. I have a few different examples that I've used recently to kind of show that in case it was kind of confusing how I worded that. But here's one for example. I used this 2 weeks ago on a deal that's still going right now. So this is an example of a permanent buy down and an option that I gave them. And again, like just with real estate, I don't let people shop me for price. I give them options, and I like to think I give them better visuals and options than anyone else is doing. And then we go with what looks best to them. So I would say if someone comes to me and they're like, "Hey, I'm just looking for the lowest rate." Well, my response is, I can get you any rate you want. It costs money, but I can get you any rate that you want. And then I'll give them one of these. I'll plug in the sales price. Um, if there's any credits that we're getting from the sellers, the buyer broker fee, if they're paying that. In this case, they are paying the buyer broker fee to me. So then here you'll look at an example. They have their down payment, $89.50. Buyer broker fees, $35.80. I put net closing costs because they have a credit. We have a small $4,500 seller credit there. So that's the estimated that they will have left. So then what I do is I go look at the rates and I say, okay, I can get you a super low rate, lowest payment, 5.625. Here's what the monthly price would be with principal and interest only. Here's the cost. Here's your cash to close. Really, at the end of the day, I don't think they look too much at, okay, I'm paying this in closing costs, I'm paying this in the broker fee. Here's what the lender credit costs. What they want to see is how much money do I have to bring to the table? So with these options, I can say I can get you a really low rate, 5.625, or I can get you the lowest cost up front at 6.5. And then right here's your cash to close with all of that included. We've got lowest cost 13,000. We've got a couple mid tier at 15, 16,000. If you want the lowest price possible, if that's what you're looking for, 19,000 cash to close. Which one of these looks best to you? And I haven't been in mortgage for a super long time, but I haven't had anyone be like, okay, well, I'm going to go shop somewhere else. It's, oh, okay, these are good options. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with option 3 or option 2. In this case, these people, they went with option 3, 6.125%. So that's an example of a permanent buy down because that cost is going to be for the entire loan. That's a 30-year mortgage, and it will keep that rate right there for that cost. Temporary buy down. So these are very, very powerful tools because they give you a little bit more flexibility. Some people don't like ARMs. An adjustable rate mortgage scares off a lot of people. This is not an adjustable rate. It is just extra flexibility based on what your buyers are looking for. So essentially the way it works is there's a cost and you get an extremely low rate for the first year. That rate goes up to a designated mid-tier rate the second year, another slightly higher increase in the third year. I believe the law is, Fannie Mae says it can't be more than 1% each year. And then year 4, it typically goes to their full rate. Now, similar to the permanent buy down, whatever they qualify for, say if in the lending world they call par 0, whatever it costs to have 0 points to buy down, that's their rate. So like 6.5 was par for those last clients. Anything below that, we're buying it down as a lender credit. So on a temporary buy down, they would qualify for par, whatever it is, if it's 6.5, then their buy down could be 3.5% in that first year to 4.5 to 5.5 and then up to 6.5. That really just gives them flexibility based on, what are they looking for? Are you buying the place and you're going to move again in 5 years? Are you going to plan to refinance, or is it your forever home? That's important to know when you're offering this. But you can see it is a pretty significant savings on these 3-2-1 or 2-1 buy downs because it can save several $100s a month. This example here is a 7% interest rate, around 1580 for that first year. With no buy down there, you could get it to a 4.5 and save $300 a month. Now that break even point changes a lot when you're on this temporary buy down because $300 a month can add up pretty quick. Depends on how much it costs, but depending on your goal, it's very, very powerful to use. So the seller strategy, where this comes in, you don't just have to go shopping and let the buyer dictate how to negotiate. That's what we're for. We provide our value in showing them the options in these strategies. I know you've worked with buyers before where they've just said, hey, yeah, I want to offer on this house, but let's offer $20,000 less. Before they even know what the market says, it's our job too to look at this property at this price, look at its condition, look at the comps, the CMAs, another super important thing to use in this conversation because it might be price correct. And to a seller, this might look a lot better than just someone trying to come in and lowball. So I would have the conversation, okay, what's really your goal if you're trying to get this, $20,000 cheaper? Well, they'll say, I want the lowest payment. So I would say, okay, well, this is probably not the optimal strategy to get you the lowest payment. Let me show what is. And then we can show them the buy downs. And to a seller, if you get an offer that's 20,000 less, plus you're probably asking for the agency commission to be covered, maybe seller concessions, that net starts to go down a lot quicker, I think, to them when they see, it's also 20,000 under asking. Versus if you come in strong and we know that the property is priced correctly, and we give, say, a full asking price or close, and we use that money to get a maximum credit for one of these buy downs and save them more or potentially more per month than just lowering the price. All just about conversation. Um, Again, here a price cut might be around a certain amount, $60 a month for 10,000, $100 a month for 20,000 versus $200 to $300 a month if you do a temporary buy down. Maybe not a permanent buy down, but a temporary definitely. So again, I've said this multiple times. It's how do we shift the conversation? What's most important to you? Would you rather save this amount and have a lower price? Does it look better to you? Like, what's the goal? Or do you want to save $200 to $300 a month and go from there? It's, to me, it's a lot. It lets you come from a position of strength. Also, when you know how to position this to your buyers, you sound like the expert. And I think that is the biggest part of the conversation. Also, why, I got into the lending side as well. I'm a real estate guy at heart, but I wanted to control this conversation all the way through. I didn't want to get into underwriting, into the weeds of lending. I just wanted to have enough to be like, yeah, I know what to do here. I know how to, um, I know the strategy we need to use to get this negotiation to where it needs to be and to help you reach your goals. I can get you the pre-approval and get it started. Somebody else can do the dirty work later. But I wanted to have enough knowledge here to be able to do this. And you can pretty much know this. You might not be able to look up the rates or get everything started, but you can have this conversation with your buyers now without saying anything, leading or anything like that. You can present these options and then hand it off to a lender and say, okay, now it's time to have this conversation with the lender, but here's the tools that you need to be able to make that informed decision. Oops. I've pretty much said this, it's all about options. We don't sell a rate, we sell options. This is basically the examples again, like how I showed you on that form that I use. There's even tools. Listen, also, this is another conversation for another day. AI, I'm the biggest advocate for it. That one I showed you that I used with the 6.125. Mortgage companies use different tools. One's called Mortgage Coach, and you can pick different rates, and it can create you a form like that for maybe $125 a month. I can take this info. You can take this info. You can plug it into an AI that it may be free. You might be paying $20 a month for, and it'll create the same thing. It's unbelievable. So utilize that too. Utilize everything at your disposal because a lot of this info is free as well. And you can create some really great graphics, throw our logos on it, everything like that. So when I show it, it's all built in. You saw the example, cash to close, closing costs, if they have concessions, if they're paying commission, everything's going to be built in, and I'm going to present you different options of how much you want to bring to the table. Everything else is kind of built in. I would recommend that even if you're working with a lender, because you can get this info with the lender you're working with. They'll be able to tell you and with the client's permission exactly what they have, and you can plug this into a all-in-one, here's what you need to bring to closing disclosure, essentially. I think the presentation is a big part of it. I'm a visual person. When I can see that, someone can tell me stuff all day long, but when you put that in front of me and show that in that way, to me, I wouldn't even think to ask, okay, what's a different rate than what's here? Like, I'm not really looking between those lines. If I'm a buyer or don't have extensive knowledge already about this, I'm saying, okay, this person went above and beyond, really presented all the options. I'm going with one of these. I'm not really looking for anything else. So I think that presentation style and creating things to share really strengthens your position when you're going into these conversations. Same thing with the buyer training and buyer conversations that we had before. I think that's really important there too. And these can kind of go hand in hand. Almost everything that you might need for the buyer side of the transaction. This is pretty much what we talked about with that year one. It's the highest 3% discount or discount points. Year two is two, year three is one, year four plus is your full payments. Here's an example of a sheet I use, or what it would look like. I haven't used this one live, but I did create this one if I was offering this temporary buy down. So essentially it looks just like the other one. We have a down payment, we have buyer broker fee, we have their estimated closing costs, and then we got a seller credit. Now, you need to remember this as well with whatever loan you're getting. If it's a loan, if it's cash, it really doesn't matter. You can do what you want, but there's credit caps based on the type of loans. Typically 6% of the loan cost. I think VA you can get 4%, I believe. So just remember that when you're doing these to factor that in when you're coming up with the amount of credit to use and how to use that. Another important thing there too, if they're covering the buyer commissions, you don't include that with the seller credit. Those can be separate and get you the maximum credit that way. Credit for closing costs, prepaids is a seller credit, then they can cover commission separately. I saw an agent mess up and put in their contract one time, seller credit of X amount to cover closing costs, buyer commission, um, like everything lumped in one. Because it was worded that way, that's the total credit we got. They didn't separate them, and it was in the contract, and we could, that agent couldn't really fight it. So, we lost credit there. So remember that. Super important to remember. Then it would show you here the rate buy down 3.75 goes up to 6.75. On the 321, it shows you the payment on year one, year two, year three, the cost, and the estimated cash to close. And then I would put other options as well. If they didn't want to do the temporary buy down, here's a couple permanent buy downs, and here's no cost. So to me, my eyes go straight to cash to close. This one costs 28,200. Well, the next one down is 24,000. It's not that big a difference, $4,000, but I'm gonna save, let's see, 1875 to 1430, $450 or so a month that first year, and then maybe 300 some the second year. Like, it probably pays for itself. And again, their goal is super important, but providing something like this really strengthens the conversation. So when to use it, yeah, if they are short-term ownership, if they know they're going to refinance, if they know a change is coming, income is expected to grow, these are really the way to use the 321. Again, it's not an ARM, so that rate isn't going to change after the 321. Whatever it is, say it's 3.5 to 4.5 to 5.5 to 6.5, it's permanent after that. Each of those are permanent and it stays at the 6.5. So you need to know that it's not adjustable. It doesn't follow the rates at that time. Once it's locked, that's what it is. So that's really the difference if you wanted to make sure you have the most flexibility and you're in control versus an adjustable rate when you're doing a buy down. But still the scenarios might be around the same as an adjustable rate. And when it's not the best choice, if you know that this is going to be your long-term home, like, hey, I've had people buy and they say, I'm never moving again. Like, this is my forever home. That's great. Well, it really might not make sense for you to pay more upfront to save monthly, because once you get past that break-even point, in the long run, you'll save money going the permanent route. Um, or no buy down at all. It's um those scenarios can change. But if we know they have fixed income, might be where they want it the first couple of years, but it might put them in a bind after that. It might not be ideal there, or if they're not going to refinance, any type of plans to make changes like that might not be the best case, and that's why you provide them both options. So yeah, here you get, it's just another kind of breakdown. 3-2-1s are for really low early payments. Another scenario might be, they might be perfectly fine um, with the rate after the 3-2-1, and they might just say, hey, I want to put a lot of money into this myself when I first buy it. We got to buy all new furniture, all new appliances, stuff like that. We might just want to save a little bit up front. We're fine with it after that. Another scenario might work out for them. But typically, that's a short-term strategy. The permanent buy down or no buy down is going to be your long-term strategy. Um, this again is just saying how important I think the visual is. The mortgage coach style is basically, I stole that and created my own. I think you need to see that and show that to your clients. And then here, yeah, the agent who controls the payment really is going to be the one who wins. And not only that, I think the agent who just provides the most options and the most information to their clients, the agent who is really in control of the entire strategy wins the deal. We've all seen this before. Someone might be cheaper. There might be a rate that's a little bit lower than what I have here, but you're not going to outwork me. You're not going to be more prepared on the other side. That's my goal. No one's going to be more prepared than I am. And education closes the deals. If you provide that service, and that's really what my real estate company is about, we're never going to race you to the bottom of anything, but we are going to provide the education and the strategy to reach your goals. And people pay for that. Like, people will pay for better customer service. I know I will in everything. When I'm buying cars, when I'm buying TVs, whatever it is, people like that. They'll go for that. So that's basically it. If anyone here has questions, or if anyone watching has any questions, feel free to reach out to me anytime. There's my Instagram handle on the top left. You can reach out to me there, LinkedIn, Facebook, anywhere. Planning to go everywhere. But that's a general overview. Should provide you with enough information to be dangerous in these conversations. You don't have to know it all. Partner with a good lender. They'll take care of you. Um, and even me, I might get licensed in more states. I'm in 3 states now. So if I ever come around to your state and license, would happily work with you there. And I appreciate everybody's time and letting me kind of present to you here. So just let me know if there's anything else.
Awesome. Thanks, Brennan. I had a client do one of these one time. Well, maybe it wasn't my client. I had the listing. So the buyer did this, and it was really interesting.
Awesome.
Lindsay?
Hey, Brennan, I work with a lot of sellers. How can I incorporate this type of conversation? Because obviously, we are having conversations about potential closing costs. And if the buyer does come with a lender, there may be, because they come with the lender, they may need to ask for closing costs and not just negotiating down the rate. And so when I educate them up front, can you give me maybe some examples that you've had with on the seller side to kind of explain maybe how this works, or just how I could plug that in as a potential option that may come. So it's not a surprise when we do get an offer.
Yeah, yeah. So I think sellers are a lot easier to have this conversation with because at the end of the day, when I have a conversation with a seller, it's what's my net? So to them, sorry, my knees are jacking up here. Um, to them, this isn't gonna mean too much besides you gotta be careful not to piss off a seller. If you're on the buyer side, you don't want to lowball anything, you don't want to offend sellers. But if a seller is at the closing table and they've come down 20,000 on the price or negotiation changed and it went to a rate buy down, every bit of that is coming out of the proceeds of that sell. So it doesn't really matter where it comes from. They're going to look at what's my net. That's always the question I get. Well, all right, show me what my net is. So I think it's most important for us to have the conversation just to prepare them for the different scenarios. When I'm talking to someone, hey, in most cases, they're going to ask for credit because, buying a home can be hard. There's a lot of fees that are incorporated. They're going to have an agent most likely that they will, ask for some compensation with. And I want you to know these things up front. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at your net, whatever makes the most sense for you from that side. And really, wherever it comes from at the end of the day, where they sign, they're just going to get that net payout. And that's what they care about. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. I like to present potential we don't know what the offer is going to look like, but I like to give them examples so they're kind of ready. So that's always like very helpful. And I know that buy downs, because interest rates actually were very aggressive for quite some time, we never really had to talk to a seller about what a buy down was. So now it's a part of the conversation ahead of time. No, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was stating in the comments that people have been running with that term for a while, buy down rate, use the buy down rate, and I never really understood it, because I'm over here in my lane. I stay involved I understand the mortgage industry. I understand a lot more than I probably need to know, but I do. But I could not find anybody to explain it to me the way I needed to explain it and have conversations. So you did a great job. I'm probably going to reach out to you later because I do have a few more questions or
Okay.
do this again.
Yeah.
But no, this was good.
Thank
It helped
you.
me a lot.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I'm glad I could help for sure.
Me too.
All right. Well, everybody, I hope you have an amazing Wednesday. When in doubt, reach out. Messages if you need us. We are here for you. We all started this morning with a blank slate at 0. So go out and talk to a buyer, a seller, or an agent today. Have a good one. Bye.